The dark side of Mesopotamia. The death pits of Ur. The kings of Sumerian city-states believed they were gods and superhumans. The royalty of Ur, a city-state, commanded an insane amount of devotion and obedience. When a monarch died, the members of their court were forced to die too. While some believe these mass murders were peaceful, being given poison, other historians see evidence that the servants were stabbed in the head with spikes. Cruel judgments. Hammurabi introduced the first known system of laws. Some of these laws were cruel and horrific, and many judges took great pleasure in administering violent sentences. Breaking certain crimes could result in the following punishments: hacking off hands, cutting off noses, and ripping out hearts. If a doctor killed a wealthy patient in surgery, they could get their hand chopped off. Child sacrifices and infanticide. Infants with missing limbs, conjoined twins, and intersex children were assumed to be cursed and were usually thrown in a river. Babylonian babies with deformities were thought to be the offspring of witches and animals and were left to die by the side of the road. In 2014, archaeologists discovered the bodies of a group of 12-year-olds that were sacrificed in Mesopotamia thousands of years ago. At least a few of the bodies had evidence of stabbing, and historians theorize that it was performed to control the population. A pillar of human flesh. Ashurnasirpal II was an Assyrian ruler that delighted in slaughter and torture. He made a point of violently quelling any rebellions against him and making gruesome examples of his enemies. He burned, blinded, and beheaded rebels, set maidens ablaze, and condemned soldiers to die of dehydration in the desert. I built a pillar over against the city gate, and I flayed off all the chiefs who had revolted, and I covered the pillar with their skins. Ashurnasirpal II. Ashurnasirpal II, Part 2. Some of the other nightmarish things Ashurnasirpal II did were skinning people alive, killing lions for sport, and forcing people to grind their father's bones before being executed in the streets. I will hack up the flesh of my enemies and then carry it with me to show off in other countries. Ashurnasirpal II. When his twin brother tried to start a rebellion against him, Ashurnasirpal II laid siege to his walled city for 4 years. It got so bad that his twin brother set himself on fire to avoid torture, and residents of the city resorted to eating their own children. Traumatized Assyrian soldiers. The Assyrian army was asked to do brutal things like slaughtering whole cities and peeling off people's skin. As a result, many suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. Some described hearing and seeing ghosts talking to them, who would be the ghosts of people they'd killed in battle. Thank you.